G'day folks, got a couple of blue bangers here. Duano has been munching on these for 3-4 months.
Something like that.
BITURBO gear. So this is the Bosch's 68C.
Well, GKS 18V-68C.
Okay. And this is the same, but on the end it's got GC for Gooder. Gooder C.
Okay.
I'm sure that's what it is. I have no idea what the hell that means.
No, me neither.
Anyway, it'll be in the description. I don't know why we actually say the model numbers.
No.
Because no one's really listening anyway.
That's true. Actually, sometimes I look back at our own videos to get the model number for when I'm like doing research or something.
Do you listen to us or do you just read?
No, I listen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
Sorry about that.
Approved.
Alright, so you've got what we're going to call your standard circ saw.
Yes.
Is that fair?
That is fair. Yep, absolutely. So this unit here is, well, I'll tell you what's common to both.
Okay.
They are an 1800 watt equivalent, according to Bosch.
Yep.
Now, we've already discussed in some grinder videos that those are probably a little bit generous. They're power equivalents.
Yep.
Nonetheless, these are very powerful saws.
Yep.
I was very, very impressed. Nearly kept up with my 54 volt one.
Okay.
Very nearly. And it has some features and some usability that I'm not used to. Cracking saws.
Yep.
68mm cut depth when you're straight down.
That's what the 68 will be for.
Exactly right. And to get the full power out of these, you need to use an 8 or a 12 amp hour Pro Core.
Pro Core.
Correct.
Yep. Still a good saw with just a standard battery.
Oh, you can stick any battery you want on it, but if you want full power, you've got to get one of these bad boys in there.
Sure. So, can I just butt in for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
People often have a bit of a squabble at the BITURBO. Oh, why would you call it BITURBO? It's a bit of clever marketing by Bosch.
Yeah.
All you need to think of is an upgraded tool, and these are upgraded batteries.
Yep.
You've got two of the best.
Buy.
Peas in a pod, BITURBO.
Yep.
It's a banging tool.
We've been pretty happy with all of their BITURBO tools to date. Grinder was monster.
Yep.
The big 12-inch miter.
Yes.
Off its chops.
That was ridiculous.
Now,
And the 8.5, 8.25.
Is that BITURBO? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that thing's a cracker.
Yep. That's on my bench. Don't ever know what saw I've got, but I stinking love it. That's screwed down to my bench now.
Yeah, it's a good tool. So, I told you what's similar about them.
Yep.
Now I'll tell you what's different about them.
Yep.
The just the C version there is...
This is GC.
Shit. The C version here is 4.2 kilos without a battery.
Yep.
And $399.
Yep.
That's pretty pricey.
It is considering, I can't say it carefully, but it's just a circ saw. BITURBO.
It's a circ saw.
It's circ saw.
It's a great circ saw.
Yep.
About $400. Stings a bit.
Yep.
Now, with the GC there,
Yep.
you add another $80 to that.
Yes.
So you're almost $500. But you get a lot of extra value with that saw as well.
Yeah. Couple of notable things. This goes straight onto a track.
It does.
Straight onto the Bosch track with this skinny line here.
Yep.
And then we'll also go onto Festool, Makita and Mafell.
Right.
Straight onto that. I reckon that's a cracking idea. Really
Really nice.
like it. So you've got the plunge ability as well, which is straight here.
Yep.
Now it's not quite as ergonomic as a standard plungy,
As a proper plunge.
as a proper plunge,
Yeah.
but you have that capability.
Hold that thought, by the way, because
Oh.
next Bosch review we will do will be the full plunge saw by Turbo.
Yeah, the whiz banger. Which when we do that, this video is going to be a mess. When we do that, we're going to talk about the clamping system, the track system, and also their track joiner.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get excited when we've got $1,000 plus worth of gear here.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't get excited about a $79
Well, don't then.
joiner. I'm going.
Leave it for the next video.
Okay, but no, it's genuinely cool.
Okay.
Most track joiners, you go, it's a piece of metal, and I'm paying $40 or $80 for it. This thing's stinking cool.
All right, good. Now put it away.
Okay.
Leave it for the next video.
Back
Suffice
to
to
this.
say, this saw can go on a track.
Yep.
Which is a lovely feature for a standard handheld circular saw.
Yeah.
It's not a dedicated plunge saw,
Nope.
so it's not going to manage dust as well. It's not as easy to plunge.
Yep.
But to be able to just stick it on a track and do dead straight cuts with your regular everyday circ saw,
Yep.
very nice feature.
Really nice. Now,
I haven't seen that in any others, have you? any of the other big
No,
brands?
but I don't
circular
remember
saws?
my names
I don't
sometimes.
think so.
So, what I will say, the adjustment is fantastic. You
I
press
love
the button
the depth
there,
control.
and it's straight up and down. The first time I used this was on a hardwood slab that we cut.
Oh, yeah.
I got the track out, dropped it down, ripped the track so that the rubber edge was sweet, and then bang, buzzed through the cut. What I'm trying to get to with that is that it's a simple tool.
Yes.
And I was able to cut a mint slab straight out of the box.
That is got to be the most, what am I trying to say, intuitive circular saw with some features that I've ever used.
Okay.
It just is easy, isn't it? Everything about it is easy, and that depth control, not only is it easy to do, but there's a really, really easy to read scale on the back here, plate.
Yep.
So that you can dial in exactly what depth you want your cuts to.
Yep.
That, so many chippies are doing checkouts of studs and things like that without adjusting the depth. They're just kind of going by eye, just coming over on the angle.
Whereas with the click of a button, you literally can go bang.
You can go accurate so fast.
Yep, true. Now, what I would say on that is that it's not, we spoke about it, not the perfect plunge saw, because it's not a plunge saw, but what I mean by that is when you've got the track on, to be able to press the safety, press the trigger, and plunge down into it's a bit awkward.
Yep.
Whereas a standard plunger, you can do that. But the cool thing is, Bosch supply, and they gave us two, 1600mm tracks.
That's a couple of 100mm longer than
It is.
what I'm used
Most of them are 1400.
Yeah.
So a standard 1200 sheet, if I want to rip along it, I go, oh, geez, I haven't got much here. Because the Bosch tracks are longer, I've got this thing sitting back further. I can drop it down, press the safety and press the go-go button.
Oh, not actually
and
plunge into the sheet.
I'm not having to plunge in.
Come from the back.
Whereas with others, if I have it on the Festool or the Makita track, I'm probably going to have to go and plunge into the start of the cut to get it going.
1200 sheet, you're going to have to.
1200 sheet, 1400. So, little thing, but Bosch are giving you another 200mm to play with, which I love. So, in amongst all of that, I think that's a bit of a seller on this.
Yeah,
and their track.
It's really nice. Now the bevel features on these are really simple to use. On the standard unit, there's just a lever on the front to get your bevel up to 50 degrees. Sorry.
Yep.
On the plunge saw there.
Yep.
Or the not really a plunge
the
saw.
GC, the Goodera one.
The Goodera.
Yep.
You've also got a lock on the back.
I have,
which is nice.
I love that. So at first, because I've done 45 cut on it, I sort of went, oh, what the crap's going on? For some reason, just thought it was only at the front. It's got the rear adjuster now. That might not ring your bells straight up, but when you try and do a cut on 40 or 30 or 50 degrees, there is you won't be able to see it now, but there's a tiny bit of flex. If you're on a track and you're trying to get a nice precise cut, you want to be able to lock that off at the rear, so front and rear you're locked. When you're on that angle, also have a look at the handle.
Yeah.
That's no accident.
No.
Because when you're running it through like that, bang, you're straight away. Now I probably won't because I'm a lefty, so I'd actually be here and I'd still be doing here.
It's made for a righty.
It's made for a righty, but I like it. It's a little bit of an extension instead of just a knob hanging off the front, as opposed to the knob behind it like me. That I actually think that's cool.
Having said that, once you're on a track, being a lefty or a righty doesn't matter that much. You can switch hands when you're on the track because the track's doing the guiding for you. Yeah, but yes and no. Because if you're running a decent bevel, you got different weight distributions. You're starting to play up. Sure.
So
anyway, that's a really nice, kind of like a chainsaw half wrap kind of handle on the front. I've never seen that on a circular saw before.
No.
And even without that wrap that comes around the side, just having a nice big beefy handle there.
Yep.
As opposed to just a little knob or nothing at all that some circular saws have.
Yep.
That's really nice. I used these when I was building a pergola for my sister up in Ballarat.
Yep.
Already mentioned that when I reviewed the miter saw.
Yes.
So used it extensively, and I was doing cuts on the end of beams, making them flush with posts and things like that.
Yep.
Being up on a ladder and cutting vertically, that was a real godsend to that handle.
That's true, because others you have to reach around a little bit and hold the knob at the front.
It was quite.
So to be able to.
It was quite good.
Okay.
One thing that, because those of you who've done some vertical cutting will know, is there are certain heights where if the saw is a little bit above your head or below your head, it's going to throw chips straight in your face.
Yep.
So it just gives you a better ability to control the saw at some various heights. I really like it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, that's cool. I don't know the warranty on this. Do you know the warranty?
I'm pretty sure Bosch is 6.
Well, hopefully for that.
If you register.
Okay, cool. One of the things I'd like to touch on, we've spoken before in other reviews about size doesn't necessarily mean power.
Right.
When you talk about using it on a 12 or an 8,
Yep.
because they're Pro cores matched with the BITURBO,
Yep.
that actually does make a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. They say 8 or 12, so I suspect that you won't feel the difference between these two on the saw.
Okay.
Maybe you will, but certainly you will if you drop out of Pro Core and go down to their 5s
Cool.
or whatever.
Okay.
But this having 3 rows of cells in there, it should be capable of a higher power output.
Well, there's bigger gates for the grunt to come out.
And therefore it wouldn't be surprising if there was a bit of a difference, but I haven't tested it to know.
No, if anyone's got any ideas on that, cool, hit us up. We're always happy to learn too.
Yep.
I suppose part of my reasoning for asking that question is that some people will balk at, they go, oh, I've already got Bosch batteries, I don't want to buy more.
Yeah.
Buying into Procore and going into Procore, you are stepping up.
Yeah,
and I know it
step up in
hurts.
power,
It hurts the wallet. You sort of go, why have to go up to that? But the Procore, that's obviously clearly a much bigger fuel tank. But going into Procore changes it.
The 8's quite a reasonable size battery. That's not a lot bigger than a 5. It's a bit bigger.
Yep.
But you can still comfortably put that in a drill or an impact driver and be okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So that, cracking batteries, highly recommend you get yourself some if you're on the Bosch line.
Yep.
Particularly if you're going for BITURBO tools.
Yep.
You've got to get yourself some Procore batteries.
Yeah, cool. Dust extraction I found on this is good.
Oh, you tried it?
Yep, I attached it. I used, wasn't a Bosch one because I was out on site, but I just used a rubber adapter to fit into that.
Yep.
And it's good. I'm not going to say it's great or was the best ever. I just went, yeah, it's good. So if I was working inside, I'd be pretty happy with it. Now on this one, we've got a little LED panel here which will show you your battery. It's also got an eco mode, so it's got 6 different speeds.
Well, it's got variable speed on a circular saw, which is unusual.
Yeah, which I think that's because of the plungy style. So if you actually want to just back off the roids a little bit. But it's got an eco mode. Now, we didn't notice anything in the eco mode special, did we?
We've never really enjoyed those modes that try to automatically adjust the power for the task.
Yeah. Well, it didn't seem to.
Other brands have tried it, and I've never liked any of them.
Yep.
I don't particularly like the eco mode on this either, but I do like that you've got 6 speed settings. And it goes really low.
It does.
Really low.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we usually use these on full noise, but someone has a use for them somewhere, I'm sure.
Top gear for me. I love it. As usual, when we review tools, Dwayne and I do love Diablo blades, but we review tools, we review them with the original blades in it.
That's true.
And this will probably end up with a Diablo blade in at some point.
Although, I would say that with a Bosch tool, you get a good blade. Bosch make good blades.
They do.
For recip saws, circular saws, any of that sort of stuff.
That's true.
Some brands, you get the stock blade, just throw it away. It's a piece of spam.
Yep.
Bosch are actually good.
Yeah.
And I bought Bosch blades separately.
I don't mind spam, you know.
Anyway, so that's good. Look, we've been going a while now and talking a million miles an hour.
That's true.
Stay tuned. We're going to review the Plunge saw and the full tracks soon.
Yep.
But if you're looking for a high-powered, highly functional circular saw, this is as good as it gets. These have a big motor on them. You can see it's a real powerhouse.
Yeah, there's not a little dinky thing hanging out the side.
That's my favourite circular saw, period. Right. I know it's got a wide base.
It is wide. It's about an inch wider.
Yeah, to account for the tracks.
Yep.
But that's my favourite circular saw, just period.
Jeez, you are full surprises tonight.
Saying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but I think I loved using it.
You haven't used these as much as I have. I've done a lot of building with these.
Very true.
Yeah. Alright, well, head down to the comments, please. Tell us what you think.
Yep.
Tell us if you think it's worth the dollars. They are a bit pricey.
Yeah, they're pricey.
But, yeah, really nice tools, and stay tuned for our next video.
Hit us up on Insta. I'm always there.
Thanks, guys.